Okay. We come here to bury the 2021 Minnesota Vikings as we know them. Game's not over. This is a live reaction video, which obviously you will know if this gets posted as is. We just gave up the lead, or it was tied, and we let Baltimore score. Only thing I can see, only thing I can think watching what I've been watching the last couple quarters of football is that Mike Zimmer and Clint Kubiak want to destroy their careers, respective careers, because we've seen the exact same thing that we've seen certainly against Dallas and at other times. A deliberate lack of effort to win a game. So they just kicked off. We're getting the ball. There's time left, but I mean, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter that there's time left. I don't get it. Like, because if it's Zimmer, if you know, this is this shit is deliberate. I don't know. Let's see what happens. 3.5 to go. I mean, whatever. Todd Conklin? Try Tyler Conklin.
Still 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning.
But I mean,
3 minutes to play for Cousins and the Vikings.
And there have been some plays that have gone, just regular plays that have gone against us, but this is coaching. It's coaching, and I was as down on Zimmer as ever after the Dallas game, and this is worse. This is arguably worse. And we're still trying to run up the middle. Clint Kubiak is still trying to run up the middle. Does Clint Kubiak, like Zimmer, maybe he knows the writing's on the wall, and it's over. But Clint Kubiak is a young football coach. Does he not understand that if there's a coaching change with this franchise, no new coach is going to keep Clint Kubiak around? So here we go, 3rd and 3. Okay. The deep out to CJ Ham. Sure. That's hilarious. I think he was out of bounds after he came down, but or down by contact. I think it's going to be 2-minute warning now, probably.
Okay, apparently right there.
Maybe give us a break.
So they'll take 14 yards off of it. It's a 27-yard gain officially for C.J. Ham, the longest catch of his season. Between Ricard in the 3rd and now Ham in the 4th, we've got the fullback bonanza today. After all that, there's a Baltimore player being tended to.
An injury player, okay. But I mean, does Clint Kubiak not understand that if there's a coaching change of this franchise, which everything's pointing to that being very, very certain, that no new coach is going to keep Clint Kubiak around? Like, why would they want to keep Clint Kubiak around? Whether you hire an offensive guy or a defensive coach, it's not going to matter. They're not going to keep Clint Kubiak around. So why is Kubiak doing this? So it's either Zimmer, telling Kubiak to do this, which is destroying Zimmer's career, or it's Kubiak choosing these plays all on his own, which is destroying both their careers. It's nonsensical. So, we're going to play here, or they put time back on the clock too. 2:26 to go. We're down to the 41. It would be incredibly classic. Like, oh, there you go. There he goes. All right, well, all of a sudden we're into the red zone. That'll be the 2-minute warning. Watch what happens. We actually will score here, and then we'll leave too much time, and then, what was it, 66 yards that Tucker hit on Detroit? He'll hit like 67 yards almost, just to make it even that much worse. So, all right, I don't want to do 2 videos, so this is gonna be like game recap. I'm gonna try to do like a real quick one. once again, we come out on offense. We're looking great. Kirk hits a deep ball touchdown to JJ. Everything's looking nice. But then we actually do a second good drive because Dalvin breaks a real long run, and the warning sign should have been there on that because we struggled to get it in from basically the 1 yard line. We had to go for a fourth down. There was a pass interference that gave us a fresh set of downs, and even then I think it took to at least the second play. And Kirk just kind of held the ball over the line to get a touchdown. But since then, and even that, obviously the finish to that drive was not good. Overall, it was not smooth and everything. Since then, it's been absolute garbage until basically I hit record. I guess maybe that should be. Although even that's like it's not acceptable. Like why is it taking until you've given up 21 unanswered points to actually try something on offense again? It's inexplicable to me because and then our defense, shorthanded defense at every level, they've done okay. Like they've been completely gassed in the second half here, especially in the fourth quarter, and you can tell they had nothing left. They did, but I'm not blaming this on the defense. They did everything they could for most of this game, and the offense just gave them nothing.
Alice loves the scent of game so much. She wished there was a way
And
to
we did
make
get a
it last
turnover.
longer.
Wait, Cameron Bynum picks off Jackson. Runs it back down. They're inside the 30. I can't remember exactly what the yardage was. You're up 14-3 at that point. There's like 2 minutes left. The sequences of events that took place between that and halftime is unreal. We run the ball first play, which is fine. Then we called a timeout. Like, people get on Zimmer for his timeout use. This might have been one of the all-time worst. What the fuck are you calling a timeout for? You got like 20, 25 something yards to go. Plenty of time. You're not in any rush, and the Vikings had timeouts. And I'm gonna have to pause this to resume live action here. I don't see a good solution to this because we're either not going to score and the game's going to be over. Or, fuck, we're throwing to the end zone. What the fuck's going to happen if you throw to the end zone? Let's say you did score right there on that pass to Thielen. There's going to be almost 2 minutes left. With Baltimore, who is destroying your defense now, and maybe the best kicker in the history of the NFL, who could probably hit it from 80 if necessary. Like even that's like situational awareness of what's going on. All right, second down, 17-yard line. I mean, obviously it's 4 down territory, so whatever. But did he just say he loves Clint Kubiak? He's the only fucking one. Maybe his mother, or I don't know if he's married or something, or has kids. They love him. I sure as fuck don't. If it takes firing Mike Zimmer to get Clint Kubiak out of here, then I'm in favor of firing Mike Zimmer. So 3rd and 9, 16-yard line. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Marlon Humphrey stepping in front of time. Incomplete to Conklin, so now it's 4th and 9. This will probably be the last play of the last play of the game that matters. Will be technically the last play. Like even that, I mean, yeah, I'm like you want to run time for the clock, but you run it up the middle, which has been destroyed all game long. You haven't been able to run up the middle the whole game. It was a wasted play when you need downs. I mean, you don't want to score too early, but they might not score at all now, and we're about to find out. And they're burning a timeout, which is fine. But so, okay, the Bynum pick. They run the ball, and then call timeout for no reason, and then I think there's 2 incompletions. And all you get out of that is the field goal. They held it for like 20 seconds total. And the kick field goal go up 14. Then We let them go down the field. Xavier Woods has a gift interception. It's right there for him. I don't understand why he didn't pick it. It was like a jump ball. It was so easy. And then just a couple plays later, he commits a really, really obvious sloppy pass interference that gives them the ball inside the 5. And we're about to lose the game here, so I should wait. And okay, we're not going to lose the game because we now have first and goal. All right. I should have known it wasn't going to be that just simple as, oh, we just turn the ball over on downs. Which we'll miss a PAT. We'll score and miss a PAT. All right. Hey, Jefferson. He's barely been targeted since the first quarter. That's on Kubiak. Three catches in the game. I'm fine if we run it here. All right, they ran it to the 1. That's fine. I'm actually okay with them running it there. You know, made them burn one of their timeouts at least. But yeah, so Woods commits DPI, and then they score easily. So it's 17-10 just like that. And you're like, this game should have been worst case scenario 17-3, and they didn't have time to go down the field. Instead, it's 17-10. See, the problem is even if we score now, I know what's going to happen, and everybody knows what's going to happen. At least it might give Kirk another late drive to toot his horn about, assuming we actually do score. And yeah. All right. Well, they wanted a push off, but I mean, he wants a push off when he was like, had his arms around Thielen. And that's classic. You commit a foul. You actually commit a foul, but then you whine for a foul the other way. Trust me, I could get on the refs. Like, the Vikings have done more than enough to screw themselves over in this game, and they maybe still will. I wouldn't guarantee this PAT. No, he got it. All right. Tied with 1:03 to go, but they still have 2 timeouts, and they've been just destroying their defense. So, and they have maybe the best kicker in the history of football. So it's hard to not kind of see where this is going.
To me, that's not an aggressive push. I think that's a good no call right there.
I mean, the fucking refs have made bad calls against us all day. I'm not saying that's why we're where we are. It hadn't helped.
We're not here to watch officials throw flags. We're here to watch a football game, and I think that's a good.
It's hard. It's really hard to blame refs on one like this when the Vikings have made and the coaching has made it this problem. Like what we just did, going right down the field. Where the fuck was that for almost 3 full quarters? There's no excuse. Playing a terrible pass defense, and we had I think we had something like 120 totally passing yards before that drive, and a lot of that was just the touchdown. We've done nothing. I ain't even nervous. I know the Ravens are gonna get this ball and probably get at least into field goal range, which I mean for Justin Tucker is basically anywhere on the field. So should onside kick it. Right. Yeah, they're starting. I mean, they start at the 25. Fuck, they only need 30 yards. Maybe not even 30 yards. See, we all made fun of the Lions for losing on a 66-yard field goal at the buzzer to the Ravens, and now that's probably going to happen to us. Although I doubt we can even keep them to a 66-yard field goal.
So you get inside the 40-yard line.
So, All right, I guess we'll just stick with this. And we'll do the rest of the recap after this. All right, he has to be on the ground. All right. Kenny Willekes. All right, well, that gives you hope. That gives you hope. Yeah. I mean, they've gotten some pressure. They've gotten some pressure on this guy, but you know, he's so damn slippery. He's getting away. He's got over 100 yards rushing, I think.
First big NFL game, taking over for Harrison Smith. Got tagged with a defensive holding penalty.
It's a defensive holding. Never mind. We don't have any hope. That was our last little shred of hope for this game.
So to the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Oh, what a grab by Bateman. He stumbles down. Clock continues to move to 50 seconds. Oh, now things get a little chippy here as Bateman was holding on to it.
I don't think he was down. I think that's what they're going with there. He wasn't down. He got up and he's just holding the ball.
So that clock moves all the way down inside of 40 seconds. Underneath. That's a first down for Andrews.
Yeah, they're already past. They're already up to almost the 45. I mean, they're literally like 10 yards away from getting the guaranteed game-winning field goal. And people might blame the defense after this.
Did he get touched down? So he's on the ground when Dantzler touches, but he gave himself up. But Kendrick's going to make
and Dantzler just fucking stands there. It was Kendricks who came up and tried to knock the ball out, which would have actually been a fumble. Meanwhile, Dantzler's just fucking standing there. He could have literally just walked up to him and taken the ball away, and it'd be our ball.
That's a heady play by the 7-year veteran. Either way, the clock stopped at 30 seconds. One timeout of
Dantzler's been a big fucking disappointment the last couple games. He's really had a shot here with Peterson out, and he hasn't taken advantage. So, I mean, they're at most maybe 15 yards away from a guaranteed field goal.
Looking for Bateman again. Incomplete. 2nd and 10, 26 seconds to go. They did it earlier this year against Kansas City. They did it on the road at Detroit. And that comeback win on Monday Night Football against Indianapolis. They have done it 3 times this year. The game-winning drive to close out. Trying to do it again today.
I can't fucking believe we're about to lose another game at the fucking gun. Another game in the last minute. 2nd week in a row. And neither one of them should have come down to this. But really deliberately bad coaching has made it so.
2nd down. Pressure from the Vikings. Quick pop to Andrews. Into Viking territory.
So they're up to the 49, and they're burning their last time out. So, but you know what's going to happen here? I mean, they got 22 seconds left. You can run 3-4 plays in that time.
Boy, it's been a wild day in the NFL. You saw a very tight game. If you just saw Atlanta and New Orleans, we've got a tight one for you with 22 ticks remaining in Baltimore. Adam Amin, Mark Schlereth, Shannon Spake, our fantastic crew. Back and forth ball game.
We're up 24-10 then. Kenny Wangu takes the opening kickoff the second half all the way fucking down for a touchdown. Unbelievable. And here we are because of really, really deliberately terrible coaching. And it sucks. We deserve better. This team has deserved better than what these coaches have given them. That's not a very smart play, although there's a flag. So
that's going to be on Andrews.
Well, if that's on them, that kicks them at least out of long field goal range.
Holding, number 89, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
Andrews still on the ground.
It's a penalty, and he's hurt.
Coming out here, he's trying to get Boyd. Just wraps his arms around him.
Kind of ends up getting the worst of it a little bit.
Wasn't really worth doing anyway because that wasn't going to get him much yardage anyway. So, well, okay, injury timeout. So let's. So, but you know, second half defense, they've had nothing going. You know, they've been going for 4th downs. They've gone for like at least 3. Like problem is if we keep letting them, we've kept letting them get into these like 4th and 1, 4th and 2 spots where sure you're going to probably more often than not go for it.
numbers today.
But
Part of the 22 completions that Jackson has thrown today.
it's just been destruction on defense this whole second half. Whereas we, between the kick return and then this last drive, absolutely nothing. Our only play that looked like there was any sort of spark, we run a fake punt and convert, and then we go 3 and out after the fake punt with a penalty included in there. So, all right, 3rd and 13, 41-yard line, and now he's going to run, and well, he's not going to run. That might be overtime. That's probably it. They're not going to. No, wait. No. Yeah, they're. Well, all right. All right, well. Prayers that the coin flip goes our way. Because I don't think we were beating Carolina a few weeks ago if the coin flip doesn't go our way. And I guarantee we ain't winning this game if the coin flip doesn't go our way. So, I mean, they've got, I don't know how many sacks they've got in this game, but they've gotten some. They've gotten in there. At least this time they contained him. Frankly, even if you let him run a little bit there, that probably ends the thing. So, all right, off to overtime. We're going long again. We shouldn't be, because we should have had this game wrapped up.
A couple of times this year, the loss to Cincinnati, the victory against Carolina, Baltimore, that tight game.
3rd overtime game already. Plus Detroit game right at the end. Plus Arizona game right at the end. Plus Dallas game decided in the final minute. Plus Cleveland game, we had a pass into the end zone as the clock expired. So, this is the play of the game right here. Coin flip. Coin flip is the play of the game, just like it was in Carolina.
He's called tails. It is heads. Baltimore.
And we'll lose because we lost the coin toss. That's what it comes down to, man. I don't see us keeping them out of the end zone. We did this one because they weren't necessarily playing to score a touchdown, but all right. So, but yeah, the offense has been an absolute. It's the same fucking shit, and I'm tired of saying that I don't understand it, because I think I do understand it, and it's just coaches who want to get fired. Because I don't believe that Mike Zimmer is an idiot. I don't have any basis to call Clint Kubiak a stupid man. So they are doing this because they want to do this, because they want to get fired. It doesn't make sense. Like, logically, that doesn't make sense. But that's the only thing I can say. That's the only thing I can. It's the it doesn't make any logical sense, but it's the only thing I can say. And
you only get one per
it's the same thing we've seen in other games. It's
so you better make it the best one. Which is this one
terrible lack of production on offense over and over and over. It gasses your defense, probably demoralizes them too. And here we go with Baltimore just gashing us for touchdown after touchdown in the second half.
But that was our thing.
I mean, they what was it, like an 18-play drive to tie it, and then we go 3 and out with like a run that got blown up instantly, and then like a dump off, and then an incomplete dump off, and it's like boom, you punt it back, and what a shock, they drove right down and took the lead. It's like why wasn't the drive, why wasn't the approach on the second to last drive the approach on the same as the approach on the last drive? I mean, you could have, if Baltimore had taken more time off the clock, you don't even get the time to go down and tie it and get this to overtime.
Every new Chevy Equinox comes standard with Chevy.
I've liked Zimmer. I've stood by Zimmer. I've made videos defending Mike Zimmer. I still think that his overall tenure has been better than people admit, but I mean, I can't turn a blind eye to this shit. It's either Zimmer's approach, telling guys what to do, or it's Clint Kubiak, and if it is Kubiak, well, Zimmer's allowing it, so. And we may never touch the ball in overtime. And we may lose, so. I mean, this defense kind of stepped up there, but
60 minutes not
you know,
enough, right?
can they step up one more time? And even if they do, can we get it done? I don't know.
You got to go to overtime.
When this video's posted, anyone watching it, they're gonna know what happened. Seems like every time I think almost every time I've done one of these, I've been like defeatist and been like, okay, we've lost, we're gonna lose, and a couple of times we didn't. But you know, it's hard to have confidence in this coaching staff anymore, and I really don't. I really don't. But even that, it's like classic Vikings. Like, you're going into a really tough road spot, really fucking shorthanded on defense. You know, missing 4 really important players on your defense against a really, really tough quarterback to play against. Like, I'm getting exhausted just watching our guys chase Lamar Jackson all around the field. Like, you know, but they've done what they could do, and what they could do is ultimately not that much, I guess, because it's 31 points, and they're probably going to give up some more here. But you know, there's the first down. And you know,
This is smart. Do exactly what you did at the end of the game.
it's like we've got 31 points, but 7 of that was from Wong Wei or Wong Wu. I'll probably mix that up a few times. 7 was from Wong Wu, and then 3 was just gifted to you by the Bynum pick. Everything else is, everything else is in the offense, but that's just 21 points. I mean, you need more than 21 points out of your offense, and you have the tools to do it, and they just refuse, just like last week. And I don't know if that game went final, but it was over. Denver went into Dallas and just blew the shit out of Dallas, which I think was starting Dak Prescott. Maybe they need to go back to Cooper Rush, but like, we could have done that last week, but we chose not to. It was deliberate. I'm sorry, it was deliberate, and I think what they did in this game was deliberate. And it burned them last week, and there's still a strong possibility it's going to burn them this week. Frankly, if they win, if they end up pulling this out, it might teach them the wrong lessons, that they can keep doing this shit. Jesus. Make a tackle, fucking hell. Alright. Well, they're already for sure in field goal range, but they ain't going, just like us in Carolina. They're not playing for a field goal. They're playing to win this thing right now. Jesus Christ. He catches it in front of 2 of our guys. Who is that? Was that Woods? Tell me that wasn't Woods again. Oh no, that was Boyd. Or Woods was in there though. Terrible game for Xavier Woods, man. So they're already inside the 40, so our only chance is if we keep them out of the end zone. So, and I don't think we can, because they're chunking us every play. So this is going to feel very anticlimactic here in a moment.
Then just knowing when you're in a huddle, offensive huddle, you know what your offensive coordinator Greg Roman's going to call. You know what you're going to do. You understand that we're going to be us. We're going to do exactly what we do. Greg Roman, you see him right there.
The only thing they can save our ass now is a turnover, and I don't know that we can get one, because they're not going to make any stupid throws. So unless we strip a ball out, but I don't see that happening, because.
Off the fake. Oh, that ball was deflected and taken away. Vikings have it. It's Anthony Barr with the biggest defensive play of the day.
I'm not saying I just called a turnover. I said it wasn't going to happen, so I can't say I called it. What a fucking play by Barr. Wow. Wow.
Tipped it to himself and secured it. A monster takeaway.
Wow, that is an amazing play. What a fucking play by 55. All right. That was cool. That was exciting. We haven't won anything yet. We gotta go probably still 50 yards to even have a field goal try, and we know what happens with field goals. So, and they immediately have a false start.
Prior to the delay, first charge timeout. Minnesota.
All right, they called the timeout, so we're...
Timeouts
don't usually matter that much in
So
OT.
Adam, you're
So.
sliding the fullback out underneath, and the running back's got to come up here and take the end.
Well, if we somehow manage to pull a rabbit out of our hat here, game ball Anthony Barr.
Attack him. That's what you're trying to do. Attack him, make sure he doesn't get his hands down. And there you see Ricard with his hands on his head. He's like, man, I was wide open. I'm going to be the recipient of that ball. But that's one of those things.
I mean, that was our only shot, really, is getting a turnover, because there was nothing to indicate that we could, like, stop them 4 downs or even hold them to a field goal. Even there, how do you almost get a fucking delay a game on the first play after a turnover? It's just that there's just this disorganization, and like they had it before, where they had to play, I forget when, second half I think, where they get
He did it against Detroit late in the game. He did it against Carolina.
They get a penalty, and then they had to call a timeout after the penalty because they almost had to delay a game after that. It speaks to bad coaching and a lot of disorganization. Like in this situation, you want everybody to be nice and calm. I'm not really calm. I'm having anxiety, but are we seriously going 3 and out? Are they seriously going 3 and out? Clint Kubiak should be fired into the fucking sun. You come out after Barr gives you, an absolute unearned gift, and they run it twice. Like there's no need to like burn clock now or hold the ball. Like you have to go down the field and score, because guess what happens? You punt the ball back. Now they only have to get a field goal with the greatest kicker in the history of the world.
Scrimmage for Baltimore. Here comes the blitz. Cousins throws incomplete. 4th down.
I don't even know who that was supposed to be to. At least it was thrown where it would have been a 1st down.
Well, Wake Martindale, what we say, we're bringing
this fucking Clint Kubiak. I tried to be nice. I'm not nice anymore. Clint Kubiak needs to just. I don't care what happens the rest of this game. He needs to be fired. And if he's not fired, then if I'm Ziggy Wolf, I'm bringing Zimmer in tomorrow morning and telling him, you are firing Clint Kubiak, and if you are not firing Clint Kubiak, then you are fired. And I hate the fire coach midseason thing. I don't like it. I don't think it means a big change of how things are, but it's sabotage. It's absolute sabotage from this coaching staff.
During the kick, holding, number 44, return.
I mean,
10-yard penalty, first down.
it'd be different if if they were running really well today, but they're not. Cook broke one long one. I don't know that he's got 20 yards total beyond that. Every time they threw out Madison in there, he was getting tackled for nothing. I mean, you're not even running the ball well, and you won't stop running.
Right now, his team has the ball halfway through overtime.
Except when they absolutely had no choice there at the end of regulation. So and that speaks terribly to them too, because it's like you can tell that they know that there are situations where you have to be doing this. You have to be throwing the ball. You have to be up tempo, fast, but they don't choose to do it. It's like this game has absolutely been sabotaged by the coaching staff. There's no excuse for this shit. There's no excuse. And they're gonna lose this game now because all they need is a field goal, and they don't need that much more for a field goal. They need maybe 25, 30 yards. I mean, if they're in range for a 65-yard field goal with Justin Tucker, they're going to try a 65-yard field goal, and he's going to make it because he's that good. I mean, you think opposing kickers almost never miss against us. You think Justin Tucker's going to fucking miss a kick against us? Give me a fucking break.
When he held the ball, is there an opportunity? opportunity to spread them out a
It's
little bit.
unreal,
Lamar,
man.
let Lamar
How do you do that after Barr gives you a gift? Gives you an absolute gift. And then you go out there and you run two running plays that they were never going to gain much, even if those worked.
He's got his target, Eric Tomlinson, first catch of the season for the fifth-year man out of UTEP. And it sets up third down and short for Baltimore.
Well, I mean, it's third and short, but it's third and short. We've given them so many third and shorts this whole game. I don't think they would go for a fourth down if you stop them here, because if you know, but maybe they would. I mean, we've both gone for fourth downs and fakes and all sorts of shit today, but. And it's a moot point now because we gave up the first down very easily. So now they're past the 40. I mean, they get 20 yards, it's over because they'll kick a field goal and they'll beat us. Or we'll be 3-5. Imagine coaching this team with this talent to 3-5. I'm out on Zimmer. I'm just in. I'm not saying that his whole tenure's been bad, but this season is bad. This season has been his worst coaching job ever. And there you go. Giving up a long run. They're inside the 40. I mean, they're already in range for like a 50-some yard field goal. It's over. We're about to lose. I might as well stick with it until it's official. But no excuse for losing these last two games. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. And they're going to have lost both of them. Absolute garbage.
From here would be a 56-yard field goal.
It's probably going to make, it's going to be overall like people are going to look back at the Zimmer era and be like, it was always bad. No, it wasn't always bad, but it's bad now. This is very bad. This is unacceptable stuff. 12 men. Why not? There's another thing on coaching. Why are 12 guys out there in this situation? This is it's just a meltdown of just really bad coaching and disorganization. Like after the fucking turnover, where they had to burn a timeout before running a play. Why? They don't resemble in any way a well-coached team anymore. Boy, this game is going to go to every maximum minute. Well, that's on them. I mean, they're still in field goal range even with the holding, I think. And we've already been going for 40 fucking minutes. We're going for the record.
He's right here, gonna latch on. I think that's Griffin. He's latching on to right here on the outside.
That holding penalty might have helped if it was a little earlier because they were far back.
You've got to understand what they call in this
first
league,
and
once he goes to the ground, they're going to call you.
And of course, it was a 1st and 5, so it's only 1st and 15. So they're not, it helps you a little bit, but come on, they're at the 44. Unless we can actually stop them, which we can, and now they're inside the 40 again with another fucking flag. Just end our torment. All right, illegal formation. Push him back another 5. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter.
After another penalty against the Baltimore offense.
We surrendered our last chance to pull a rabbit out of a hat and win this game when we ran 2 plays and then gave no pass protection to Kirk on the 3rd down coming off of that bar pick.
Two guys out there, and neither guy was on the line of scrimmage. One of those, either the outside receiver or the inside receiver in a slot formation.
All this is just like prolonging the torture because okay, they're back at the 50, but they're not gonna be at the 50 soon. Like just play some defense. I get your gas, but come on. So they're just like that. Boom, 35-yard line. That's a 50-yard field goal, and Tucker's gonna make it.
This was the game-tying score from Thielen. The pick by Barr, back and forth.
It is malpractice on a grand scale that this football team is about to be 3-5. There's no excuse for it. And
Okay, what message did you hear this time?
you know,
Safe drivers can save using
for years
Snapchat.
I've thought Mike Zimmer has
What's the commercial
been able to
about?
squeeze every win out possible out of his team, including last year. You know,
Tell me about it. I'm going to a silent retreat next week.
where he's
My niece got kicked out of
he's playing with
For talking?
a decimated roster, but he's I thought squeezing 7 wins out of that team last year was actually kind of an accomplishment.
Yeah, we'd like to talk about that. Okay.
You know, but it ain't working this year. It ain't working anymore.
Other delivery apps add surprise fees.
And whether it's Zimmer
At Domino's, we're giving out surprise
dictating
instead.
that Kubiak can't do anything more than what he's doing, or if it's Kubiak just choosing to do this and not being stopped.
Maybe not like this though.
I mean, ultimately it falls on Zimmer both ways.
You
So
can be surprised with free food like lava cakes,
you know,
stuffed cheesy
he's
bread,
gotta
or
go.
pizza. Check the Domino's tracker to find out.
one or the other, if not both.
What Kirk Cousins can do is look for
And I don't know that it saves the season. I mean, hell, I think Carolina lost. I think Atlanta won. I mean, like, you're still barely going to be out of the playoffs, but you know, that fact is losing its luster more and more with every one of these games that they kick away. Because they're about to be 3-5, and they should be 5-3. And if you're 5-3 right now, hey, things are looking pretty good.
The tight formation, a fake. Jackson keeps. Jackson advances. Third down coming up. Ball spotted at the 31 and a timeout used.
I'll say this.
Why are we calling timeouts? Who gives a shit?
Guy's fearless.
This is ridiculous. Why are we even calling timeouts?
But that dude has no fear. He'll put his nose in there, trying to run through defensive linemen.
Game winner they had against Indianapolis in overtime was the pass to Marquise Brown.
It's like,
Tucker has won a game
even as much as
against
you never think that an opposing kicker is going to miss against the Vikings, this guy, there's no fucking chance he's going to miss. He's probably the best kicker ever. He's going to the Hall of Fame. You got no shot. And you're not even going to... What an embarrassment. Fuck you, Vikings. Make a that's just, I mean, I get it, they're gassed, I get it, they've been given nothing from the offense for the entire last 3 quarters and now overtime, so basically 4 quarters, but that's embarrassing. That should have been, you know, it was going to be a first down, but now they're inside, I think, the 20. I mean, this isn't even going to be a, Tucker could go out there and make this shit with his eyes closed now. God, just fucking repugnant. Absolutely repugnant. It's like death, just a slow death.
Baltimore plays have been running this game.
Timeout of the overtime period. Baltimore, the 32nd timeout.
What a disgust. I wasn't saying after the Dallas game that I would maybe do something, you know, make a coaching change. I might be thinking differently now. Just the way this game was just given away, and to compound it with the way the Dallas game was given away, and the way you damn near blew the Detroit game, and you almost blew the Carolina game, and you look really bad against Cleveland, and you have other things that are at least somewhat on coaching in other losses. I mean, this is madness that this roster is going to be 3-5, and it's coaching. It's all on coaching. Particularly on the offense, but I mean, that's why time of possession's a thing, because if you can't hold the ball, your defense is going to get tired. Your defense is especially going to get tired when they're playing against somebody like Lamar Jackson. But they're, you know, except for the one drive where it was literally you're going to lose if you don't score a touchdown on this drive. They've made no attempt to do anything for 3 quarters and now almost an entire overtime. And they're going to kick now because they just burned their last time out. So
sudden death, next score wins. Final timeout used by John Harbaugh today.
So
They bring Tucker out now.
What a sad, anticlimactic piece of shit this has turned out to be.
There is not one player in the National Football
But I'm done. I'm just done. I'm done. I'm sorry, Zimmer. We've had it. I really have liked you, but this is it.
The most confident players in all of football.
So, all right.
Done it so many times in his Baltimore career.
I mean, 36 yards were just. He could make. He could literally make this with his eyes closed. He could probably make it with his opposite leg. Unbelievable.
Justin Tucker delivers again,
Yep.
and the Ravens
So
win
there you go.
overtime.
3-5 with this roster. Unacceptable. I don't know what's going to happen. I ain't making no predictions, but if Mike Zimmer is fired tomorrow, I'm not at all going to object,
18
because
times in his 10-year
this is absolute madness to me that this roster is 3-5.
has had a game-winning field goal. He does it again for Baltimore.
They could be 7-1, 6-2 with coaches willing to do what needs to be done, but we don't have that, and we're being absolutely led astray. So, all right, well that was a lot of fucking fun, wasn't it? I guess that counts as my recap. Maybe I'll do something else later, but just kind of resigned to it. You know, it's not going to get any better this year, and I think these last couple games have really, have stuck the fork in the Zimmer era. It's over. You know, he can't get it done anymore. And he can't get it done because he seems to be choosing not to get it done. I'll never understand it. So, all right, well, 3-5. Chargers next week. Doesn't matter. We'll probably do. You know what? Overall, they played pretty well on the road, but they're not going to go beat the Chargers because they're going to choose not to, and I don't understand it, because it's like guys are just committing suicide for their own careers. I'll never understand it.